In this lesson, we will activate the vulnerability protection feature. This vulnerability protection also protects against vulnerabilities in our network. In order to use this feature, we need a threat prevention license on our firewall. First we check our license, then we do our dynamic updates. I'm skipping these steps because we've done them before. Now, under the Object tab, let's go to Vulnerability Protection from Security Profile and create our profile here. There are two profiles in default. You can use these profiles if you want. I will create a new profile as an example. We go and apply this profile to our rule. Let it be called the Test Vulnerability Profile. Let's create our rules by clicking Add from here. Let's call our first rule Client DOS. From here, let's select Alert in the Action section. After choosing Action, let's choose DOS in the Category section. Here, let's set the host type as Client and select the severity part as Critical, High, and Medium. Let's create a new one. Let's call it Client Overflow. In this, let's drop the action and choose our category as Overflow. Let's set the host type to Client. Let severity any stay, let's say OK. Let's create a new one here. Let's call it Client Scan. Let's get action drop and choose our category from here. In the severity section, let's choose Critical, High, and Medium. Here, let's choose our host type and say OK. Let's create it as Client SQL. I say Add. Let it be called Client SQL. Let's do Action Alert and select our category as SQL. Let our host type be Client, and severity as High, Critical, and Medium. I say OK. We made these rules for the client. You can do the same for the server. For example, let's choose this client DOS and clone it. Let's name it Server. Here, let's change the host type to Server. Let's do Drop, not Alert, in the action part. Let's choose any for the severity part. Here you can see the server part comes. Let's clone this Client Overflow and turn it into a server. Let's set the host type as Server. Let severity any stay. Let's make the action Alert. Let's do it for SQL. I'm also clone this. I also rename it and drop it. Here, let's set the host type as Server and severity as any. We created our vulnerability profile. Now let's say OK. Let's go to the profile we created under the Policy tab and add it to our rule here. Here, let's click on the Profile tab and select the profile we created in the Vulnerability Protection section. Let's write our settings to the running config of our firewall by making commit. Our settings have been successfully uploaded to our firewall. Let's close our window. We have now secured our network against security vulnerabilities. That's all we will tell you in this lesson. See you in our next lesson. Goodbye.